Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dog, cats, and squirrels, or anybody who might want to listen to an old man like me. Hello, world. Hello, money. Hola, dinero. Hola, mundo. Hello, world. I break for historical landmarkers. Do you? Do I break for landmarkers? Of course I break for landmarkers. Historical landmarkers at that. Hello, world. Man, guys, you're in for a treat today. We're going on a journey to Louisville, Kentucky. I know, hold on. I know you just came from Louisville, Kentucky a week ago. I know. But you can't go along and you can't go against history. I mean, you can go along with history, but you can't go against history, okay? We go wherever history take us. Don't be mad with me. I'm just going where history take us. We bringing everybody back alive. So, all right, calm down. We're going back to Louisville. So get your ticket. Get on the Academy bus, and we're going to be heading down to Louisville, Kentucky. You know, we always spend a day of it. Hello, world. Hello, buddy. So we're going down to see Charles W. Anderson Jr. So get on that bus. You know, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get on that bus. But before we get on that bus, let's find out who Charles W. Anderson Jr. is, so that everybody can know who Charles W. Anderson Jr. is. Not just for me. I want the world to know, because this guy changed the world. Okay, let's get to it. This is Charles W. Anderson Jr.'s early life. Charles W. Anderson was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1920. He grew up in a racially segregated society, which fueled his passion for civil rights. His education, military service, Anderson attended Louisville Municipal College, where he earned a bachelor's degree in biology. During World War II, he served in the segregated U.S. Army and rose to the rank of captain. His civil rights activism. After the war, Anderson became a prominent civil rights activist in Louisville. He joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and focused on fighting racial discrimination and segregation. His NAACP leadership, Anderson rose through the ranks of the NAACP and became the president of the Louisville chapter in the late 1950s. Under his leadership, the chapter played a crucial role in challenging segregation and advocating for equal rights for African Americans, protests, and legal action. Anderson organized and participated in numerous protests and demonstrations against racial discrimination in Louisville. He also worked closely with lawyers to challenge discriminatory laws and practices through legal means. Public accommodations. Anderson and the Louisville NAACP fought for equal access to public accommodations such as restaurants, hotels, and theaters. Their efforts contributed to the dismantling of segregation in these establishments. Fair housing. Anderson was instrumental in advocating for fair housing practices in Louisville. He worked to eliminate discriminatory housing policies and increase access to housing for African Americans. And now his legacy. Charles W. Anderson's activism and leadership played a significant role in advancing civil rights in Louisville. His dedication to fighting discrimination and promoting equality helped pave the way for future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to note that while Charles W. Anderson made significant contributions to the civil rights movement in Louisville, there is just a brief overview. For a more comprehensive understanding of his life and work, I recommend exploring additional resources such as books, articles, and documentaries that focus on his activism. Guys, I'm telling you, let me tell you the good part. Well, you know, Mr. Lyman T. Johnson, remember when we traveled to Lexington to see Lyman T. Johnson? Well, you know, they collaborated together, man. Can you imagine all the struggles and the fights that they was going through together, man, and all the activism right here in Lexington, Kentucky, and Louisville, Kentucky, just an hour away. Man, they were just fighting activism. They was fighting segregation, racism. They were fighting everything, man. Unfair housing and justice. They were fighting everything. And they collaborated. Wow, what two powerful guys. So we're going to read that right quick, and then we're going to collect our gatherings, get our tickets, and get on this Academy bus and head over to Louisville, Kentucky. So let's get to it. Okay. Charles W. Anderson and Lyman T. Johnson collaborated on several civil rights cases in Louisville, Kentucky. Both Anderson and Johnson were prominent civil rights activists and leaders in the city, and their joint efforts had a significant impact on advancing the cause of civil rights. Here are a few examples of their collaborations. University of Kentucky integration. One of the most notable cases in which Anderson and Johnson collaborated was the legal battle to integrate the University of Kentucky. In 1949, Johnson, with the support of Anderson and the NAACP, filed a lawsuit challenging the university's policy of racial segregation. The case, known as Lyman T. Johnson versus the University of Kentucky, ultimately led to the integration of the university and marked a significant milestone in the fight against segregation in higher education. Public accommodations these guys collaborated on. Anderson and Johnson worked together to challenge racial segregation in public accommodations such as restaurants, hotels, and theaters. They organized protests, initiated legal actions, and raised awareness about the unjust treatment faced by African Americans in these establishments. Their joint efforts contributed to the dismantling of segregation in public accommodations in Louisville. And they went on to fair housing they collaborated on. Anderson and Johnson collaborated on advocating for fair housing practices in Louisville. They fought against discriminatory housing policies and worked to ensure equal access to housing for African Americans. Their joint efforts aimed to address racial inequality in housing and promote equal opportunity for all residents. Community engagement. Anderson and Johnson often collaborated on community engagement initiatives, including organizing rallies, public meetings, and educational programs. They worked together to mobilize and empower the African American community in Louisville, fostering their unity and encouraging active participation in the civil rights movement. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the collaboration between Charles W. Anderson and Lyman T. Johnson exemplifies the power of collective action and strategic partnerships in the pursuit of civil rights. Their just efforts not only had a different impact on specific legal cases, but also helped to lay the foundation for broader social change and racial equality in Louisville. Man, what powerful guys, man. And you know, one more thing I got to mention too, man, which is powerful. Let's get to it. In the 1950s, President Dwight D. Eisenhower appointed Anderson as an alternate delegate to the United Nations. He was also elected as the president of the Louisville National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. When Kentucky Governor Albert Happy Chandler provided Anderson with the Kentucky Colonel's Commission, he was the first black Kentuckian to receive that honor. Wow, man. It's powerful, man. Well, Mr. Anderson, we're on our way to see you, sir. We're going to be standing right there in front of your marker. We're going to pay tribute to your marker. We thank you in advance again for your contributions, everything you have done for the United States and America, and particularly continue to help us with our stability, freedom. Man, I'm stable now, and I probably wouldn't have been stable without you. I thank you. I really truly thank you, and I'm speaking on behalf of everybody that love historical landmarkers, man. They know you made a significant role. You had a significant role in the United States of America, and we're going to pay tribute to your role. All right, so we're going to be putting up on your sign there. So, guys, right quick, get your gloves, your mitts, your coats, because it's going to be bitterly cold. And we're going to get on this Academy bus, and we're headed to Louisville, Kentucky, baby. I know we took one trip to see Muhammad Ali. Now we're going to see Charles W. Anderson Jr., baby, down at the courthouse steps. You better believe it. So we're going to pay tribute to that sign, all right? I'll see you there. But, guys, make sure you got everything you need. It's going to be a long trip. I'll see you there.
Hey, guys, I'm sitting downtown Louisville, Kentucky. And we had Charles W. Anderson Jr., 1907 to 1960, first African-American elected to a Southern state legislature in 20th century, 6 consecutive terms in General Assembly beginning in 1935, a Republican from Louisville. He responsible for repeal of Kentucky's Republic Hanging Law, funds for African-Americans to attend graduate school outside Kentucky, and employment of African-Americans in government. Wow. All right, Charles Anderson.
Okay, guys, I hope we all got something out of that today with Charles Anderson Jr. What a great individual. Man, he just done so much for our freedom, so much for our democracy, and so much for our stability. So we all want to thank him, man. Let's honor this young man while we stand here at his sign. Now, you all get back home and get back home safe. But before we go, you always know, to the world, you might be one person. But to that one person, you just might be the world. And people don't care how much you know until first they know how much you care. And I won't see each and every one of you over the top. I'm going to see each and every one of you over the top. until we meet again next time at another supermarket that we're going to bring someone back alive. And again, guys, thank you for coming and have a safe trip home.